All right, so let's start, I guess. I guess some students will be joining later because we are a few minutes delayed now. So for the students and all the university lecturers, thank you once again for joining this webinar on CAL software. Pretty much CAL software is a computerized maintenance management software. Nowadays, people call it enterprise asset management software. And it is a very important tool in many organizations. And when you go out there and work somewhere in your, in some companies, I guess not every company has it, but it is a very important tool. You'll see that why it's important. We also use it in our own business, in our engineering, okay, for planning, for doing all our work, tasks and everything, okay. And I will show you a few examples later on, okay. So today, the idea is of the software is to basically, in a simple way, maximize your asset, okay. We don't want to leave your asset not maintained properly or looked after, because it's a capital expenditure. And generally, if you don't look after your asset, their life will be shortened, okay. And obviously, there are many other reasons, which I'll tell you why. So for today's basically content is like, I'll do a quick presentation of CAL, then we'll talk about a few verticalizations, and then we'll also look at the live demo of the software in mobile apps. So what is CAL software? Basically, like I said, it's a computerized maintenance management system, EMI software. It has been around for more than 35 years. Now, this software is pretty much developed in France and is world's best, and it's a leader in European market. Our engineering is pretty much a authorized distributor of this product in Oceania area and also in Southeast Asia, including India. It's such a good software. We always get a lot of clients all over the world. We acquire almost 60 new clients every year, okay? And it's a world-rounder solution. Pretty much you'll find everything you need in terms of asset management in this package. And it contains CAL source, which is a pretty much a PC-based or browser-based software where you can run it. You can see everything from CAL source. We call it PC-based software. And then there's a CAL touch, which is generally used by technicians. So any work orders will go to them. They can do the job on that. And CAL flash is for general public or anyone else who wants to report any problem, and they make a work request, okay? So they can tell anything, if they see anything wrong, I'll show you that also. CAL Express is also another, basically an app, which can be, let's say, is a condensed version of CAL source running as an application in your mobile, let's say, smartphones. So, as I said, CAL is used everywhere. Hence, we have got, it's a multilingual product. There's also most of the major languages are there. As you can see, English, French, Italian, all these languages are there. Some complementary languages are also there. And then it's an international product. Like I say, we are representing this product also internationally, and in Sydney, in India we are, and also we are in Fiji. So CAL source, it's a complete universe, okay? Like we said before, it has got everything, okay? So it has got pretty much 4 product range, and we have given name as, planets, which are Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter. Now, Mars is basically for small business, whereby a startup business who needs to do maintenance still, but they can't afford. So we give them a license, which is sort of not very expensive, with some of the features removed, so they can afford it. But as they grow to a medium-sized business, let's say, they can use this Neptune version of it, which we call it Expert also, okay? So there is wealth of functions are there. which they can use. Then we have got certain, which is an enterprise, whereby you got a bigger company, now a large company, let's say, and they are they need more than, let's say, 300 users are there. Okay, then they need something like enterprise version of it. Now Jupyter is again for those companies which are even interstate, or they are all over the world. Okay, they are globally present, so they need a much bigger system. Okay, so you can see we look after all sorts of business from small to big business. Okay, now then what about the industries? We have got 5 product lines, so and we look after any sort of factories and utilities, like manufacturing any products, could be food, could be timber, steel industries, anything like that. And utilities could be power, water, telecom, you name it. Okay, so that's one product we have. And then we got health. Healthcare basically covers hospitals, health centers, and that sort of things. Facilities, these are for commercial buildings, big hotels and resort type people who needs to look after their asset. Then we have transport. Transport could be, railway system. It could be bus system. It could be, aircraft, airplane, whatever you call it. Okay, that could be maintained by them. What is city? Basically, this is for the councils. Okay, like we have got state councils, whereby in state, every state has got lots of councils, and they own a lot of assets. Okay, parks, buildings, many even roads they own. In Australia, they own roads here. Okay, so they need to be maintained and looked after. So then we have got 6 modules here. They are all individual modules that could be purchased. Okay, however, these are the main ones: equipment, inventory, stocks, and orders, and finance and customers. Okay, so all that is are there. Now we also got, as we said, it's a universe. It's got the CAL, which is here, sitting here, which is let's say on premises basis, and here is a CAL which could be running on a cloud. Okay, but within that section, whether it is cloud or on premises, you can say you can run all these other applications. Now, as I mentioned briefly, Touch is for technicians, Flash is for general public, this is for managers and subcontractors to use it. And then in there we have got other applications that we use for example, installing and configuring our system, okay, and for reporting. So I'll talk about that later. So pretty much it's a complete universe, and it contains everything. So then here you can see how our products were developed. Okay, over many years, like I said, 35 years of experience. It started a long time ago in 1986 when it was called Pro, running in DOS. I don't know whether you people know about DOS at all. It's called Disk Operating System. And in those days, Carl has started that time. Okay. Now, Carl then, once Windows came out, name changed to Carl Master. As database were also changing, as things were progressing. In around 2000 and roughly 13, 2 things were released in Java version. Carl, I think JBoss was used to write Carl application here, and at the same time, Carl Touch was released. Okay, and this was a very important release for technicians to do work out, and it was like paperless work, and awards were given to us for that. Now, as it progressed, various versions of Carl came out. Currently, in between, we had Carl Flash came out, another application for general public, and then Carl in 2020, Carl 6, which is the one I'm going to show. Carl 6 has been released, and of course, we have got Carl Express, which is another app. So you got app and basically the desktop version of Carl, which is called Carl Source. Now, we have our services and our product. Basically, it has been well tested, and pretty much if any client needs, whether they purchase the product straight away or they want to do piloting, anything like that, yes, we are able to provide them. And as you can see, We have a preparation stage where we name the team, and then we start collecting data. Then we do some design work, get it approved, and then we install it, get it ready, test it, upload all the data required, make all the interfaces, and then finally we train the staff or our clients, let's say, and then they start seeing the benefit. And as we go around the cycle, we keep making improvement so that it benefits. Okay. This picture here, this slide is showing you how we load the data into Carl and what you can do with it. So as you know, most of the clients, they keep the records of assets or any maintenance records. They do it, some of them are still doing in cards, like a paper, like a cardboard, okay? They print it out, they write down, and they put it back in the filing cabinet. But some people are also doing it in Excel these days. But those people who want to move into a proper system, okay? Here's how we do it. We get their Excel from them, we put it through our Carl loader. This is one of the applications which helps us to do it quickly. We convert them, it goes into Carl. After that, pretty much, you can do anything with it. You can make reports using BERTS. BERTS is a business intelligence reporting tool. Okay, you can configure, there's many reports available. And you can use other reporting tools, like Power BIs, or make other queries using SQL queries. You can make whatever you want to do, okay? Also, you can import and export. You can read and write between Excel, okay? You can connect to the database, basically, and see everything happening dynamically, okay? You can do XML, CSV, or a plain text format export. It can also connect to other softwares like ERP software, which is the enterprise resource planning software, all the accounting packages, anything like that, any manufacturing SCADA packages, all those can be connected. If they can't be connected through web services, which we have, we can also provide APIs, which can work with them, okay? So pretty flexible too. Single sign-on can be given, and all sorts of authentication can be set up, okay? It is a very easy maintenance management system to use. You'll see it very soon. And as I said, our team also uses it in-house. Now, everything is basically coming directly from the application. You will see this sort of, like dashboard, or, like a cockpit, like a pilot's cockpit, there's lots and lots of gauges, you can watch and make decisions what to do, what's going on. You can launch reports. You can do, there are many reports available for anyone who needs this, okay? These clients can create their own report, like they can modify, they can make external queries. Everything is possible, okay? All sorts of any other system tools can be used to make reports. And all sorts of charts and pie charts can be configured. Flash reports can be configured. Now, Carl is also an open source system. What it means that if you look at on the right-hand side, everything in blue is pretty much, I think it's free. It's a freeware, okay? You can use it to develop software. And Carl has been developed in something like that, okay? So for technology, we're using Java technology, you could call it. The application server or Carl is written in Tomcat, okay? Java again. And then database could be any of these three databases. Could be Microsoft SQL, Oracle, or PostgreSQL, okay? And that's again free one. Operating system, it can work on pretty much Microsoft, Unix, and Linux. And of course, the browser can be either Internet Explorer, any browser, but we recommend Firefox for our system. This slide explains how we do the process of migrating a client into Carl. And here's Carl loader process, basically a flow diagram showing from the start to finish, okay? So basically when the client gives us their raw Excel, we make it in the right format so that in a CSV format, so that it can be absorbed into Carl loader. Carl loader then goes through the whole thing. If he finds any error, tells us what to fix. If not, it produces an XML file. That XML file can be absorbed into Carl source, and then pretty much you got everything done. So this way, if any error, we also know that we can fix it, and then we can finish it. Now, pretty much all the assets and equipments, all your work orders, all your stocks and everything. If you have anything, any form of database, it can pretty much move in very quickly. Okay, it's not that you're going to sit down for hours and hours and weeks typing each and everything. You don't have to if it is already in Excel. Now, that's based on Carl admin also. As I said, it is an administration tool, which can be anywhere. You can connect to your Carl source. You can connect to your server through internet or even on your local area network. Doesn't matter, and you can make configurations of your basically Carl server. Okay, where we have got database and the applications loaded. So at times we have to apply patches, upgrade it, or you have to take backups. Everything is done and controlled by Carl admin. Okay. Now this slide talks about all the advanced technology that these days we look at. Okay, so what we say here, it's all innovations. Tomorrow is today. So we have brought, and you'll find that not many other similar software have got these features already. We are always one step ahead of others. Now, as you can see in the middle here, it's called digital twin. Okay, and Carl is a big data here with all sorts of intelligent or artificial intelligent information here. And the data is here. How it becomes intelligent in this digital twin is because we got all sorts of mobility solution, Carl Touch, Carl Flash, and Express. It brings data through it. Also, we have got something called augmented reality, whereby you can wear the glasses and read all the manuals so that you can see what assets are where and then do the work. So it brings lots of data here. So does all our AI control maintenance and IoT, Internet of the Thing devices, which can also bring data even through SCADA. We can bring it in and make our big data here. Okay, we also connect through like interfaces or through web services to other systems and bring data into Carl. Okay, we have a system whereby we bring data by optimizing the schedules, and that's also present, and I'll show you that. Okay, what's happening. So basically, you can see even BIM. Okay, all the building information models, all the models can come in, and all the maps, CAD maps, can also be brought into Carl. And of course, GIS, graphical information system, a lot of assets for big companies are spread all over the place. For example, power utility, water utilities, they can all be shown on the GIS, and then they can be all integrated together. Okay, and that makes it really good. So here's an example of resource planning, and as you can see, there are a number of staffs here, and there's lots of colors. You can see this basically you can drag and drop it into the schedule, what you are doing, and what is your plan. So pretty much, if any staff can plan their work, surely they will get the job done on time. Okay, and this tool also tells us what you are doing, and obviously you can report your time based on what have you done. Okay. This slide here is showing you an example whereby we have got a 3D GIS model into it, and pretty much it can be integrated into Carl, and you can do work orders, you can do anything, right-clicking on it and start work from there. IoT, Internet of the Thing. Here are some of the gadgets, let's say, or sensors, which can connect through internet and bring data straight to Carl. Okay. Another example here where a connected object is giving, you can see this is our Carl platform, and the data is shown here on the right-hand side. This is an artificial intelligence example where machines start learning. Okay, so once machine learns more and more, they become more intelligent. So Carl is a system whereby it starts to learn what people are doing around it. Okay, and it can make all sorts of predictive decisions. And again, here's for example, information coming from an engine, and temperature is getting measured. Okay, And like I said, once you got all the information together, Carl could make some suggestion what to be done next. Augmented reality is another one that was recently, innovated or put into Carl, and this means you can have your hands free while you are reading the manuals about some assets while you are on field. Okay, some examples let's look at, and here are some references in the factory and pretty much utility line. There are many, but we just try to show you some of them. One example, in Oceania, we have got a company called FMF Foods. They do lots and different types of food, from flour, rice, biscuit, noodles, etc. And they've been using Carl for last almost 6-7 years now. Yeah, so they are a happy customer. Then we have got another company in Oceania region. Basically, Oceania is Australia, New Zealand and Pacific Islands. And they are using Carl for their maintenance work, let's say asset maintenance. Okay. And then, yeah, so this company makes steel, basically. Another company in Oceania, which is called Vital, and they are in federal state of Micronesia. And they look after all the small islands out there. They've got terminal operation, they do power generation and various other things. And they are using Carl for their pretty much all their activities, work orders. Okay. Solomon Power is another one where they generate power for the nation, and they've got all sorts of assets from generation, transmission, distribution, poles, wires, everything. They look after for their maintenance. Here's one timber factory. This is in somewhere in Europe, but there are many companies, I tell you, they're using Carl, but they're using it for timber, and they produce all sorts of furniture products. Looking at some facility lines, there are many facility line companies using it. And some examples are here. Glide Path is one. It's in Australia, based in New Zealand, in Latin America also. They are using, they're also using Carl for their day-to-day maintenance work, asset maintenance. Eiffel Tower, I guess everyone, all of you know this. This is it's one of the wonders of the world. Yes, Carl is used there also, and they do all sorts of maintenance to make sure nothing stops, because there's lots and lots of visitors are coming to watch what's happening there. Maybe not now, but let's say 1.5 years ago, when pandemic was not there, it is a very busy place. So next is Geneva Airport. People trust Carl for important places like airport. There are more than 30 to 50 airports and seaports, using Carl for making sure they are maintaining their asset correctly, so that it doesn't let them down. And also, even Carl is used in, like nuclear power plants and things like that. So it's quite a reliable product. Some references from transport line you can see here. Okay, and Air France is using it. Obviously, they trust Carl, so they're using it. And many railway type or metros are using Carl for their maintenance, and even bus transport companies. Okay. Well, like I said, healthcare sectors are using it. Here are some of the healthcare or hospitals that are using it. Here are some city line, in other words, councils, which are using for their asset maintenance and property sort of things. All right, so that's enough of references. Now let's look at Carl Touch. Now, Carl Touch is something that I said it is used by technicians. So pretty much it makes, things paperless. In some companies, when they want to do some work, what they do, they print a paper, they go out, they do the job, they bring it in. Sometimes they lose it. Sometimes they can't put the data back properly into the system. So in 2013, Carl introduced Carl Touch so that we can avoid all this headache. Basically, everything can be entered by the technician, who is doing the job, and that means it will avoid any errors whatsoever. Okay. So now you may be thinking, what if I generate a work order in Carl source, which is on the right side here? What will happen? Well, they are always getting synced with each other as far as there is a network, internet network, let's say. If it is either 4G or Wi-Fi, as soon as it connects, you don't have to do anything. It will automatically sync the work order from here into here. Or if you create a work order into here, the work order will automatically get back into the system. So you can create a work order while you are in the field, okay? And it will get back into the Carl system. Or if you are doing any reporting, taking pictures, dictating notes, whatever, it will all get back into Carl. I'll try and see if I can show you this today during the demo. So Carl Touch, which is the reason we also won this award was because it was very, very, very simple to use. So no training was required, okay? And it has got Google navigation. It has got pictures you can take and attach. You can attach books. I mean, like, not books, let me say, manuals, PDFs, and stuff like that. Okay. It can convert from text, voice to text also. So that you don't have to type. Like I said, for that, the award was given. Now, Carl Touch has got a few other things it can do. It can do mobile notifications. It can tell you where you are geographically, like a Google map type thing. It's quite intuitive. It has got multimedia capability. Like I said, it can do voice reporting, or it can do voice converted to text. Okay. Customer signatures can be taken, barcode scannings can happen, QR can be happen also. Okay. And it can connect and disconnect automatically. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So that's the award there. Now, it can run in various types of Android devices, which is here. It can be any of them, doesn't matter, but some of the pictures are shown here. Yes, you can put some sort of rugged case so that you can protect it. If you drop it, you don't damage it. Okay. Carl, okay, basically this Carl source. At one stage, we were not able to run them in our mobile platform, but now we can run this actually in our mobile devices. Even I can run it in my phone, or you can run it on your tablet or whatever. So this has made it a big advantage for our clients, because sometimes clients say that I want to do extra thing out on the field, which is not available in our app, for example. No problem now. So what does that mean? They can go out on the field and exactly do what they want to do on the field, as if the whole computer is with them. Okay. So it made really life easy for people now. But I'll show you that in a second. These are some customers using Carl Touch. Now, Carl Flesh, remember I spoke about another application, or whatever you want to call it, which runs as a URL in any operating system. So if I give this URL, and you can send, if I give you my URL, you can start sending me requests if there's some problem out there. Okay. This means, imagine if I give it to every citizen of a city council, for example, and they find that there's a street light not working or something not happening. They can take pictures and then simply write the message, and it will go straight to the council, and you don't have to make a phone call. It's a headache these days to make phone calls. They get the right message, they get the photo, they get the geolocation where you are, where the problem happened, and some maintenance staff will be allocated the job, and he'll come down and come and fix it. Makes life easy. Okay. Right. So, like I said, general public, anyone can use it. It could be your employees, it could be any nurse could use it, or it could be a citizen, or it could be any agent, production agent, or even a passenger sitting in an aircraft, if you are using Carl for that. So Carl Flesh, pretty much, again, it's very intuitive, multimedia, barcode scanning, all these things are available. Okay. And here's a little bit of a picture showing how they take a picture and then they report. You can see, where the problem is. It can do QR code scanning. You can say how critical it is, and so forth. So we'll try and see if we can do a demo on this one. Carl Express, it's a cut down version of, let's say, the desktop version Carl source. It has got wealth of function inside that, and you can do many things in there. All right, so here's, for example, showing you Carl Express, okay, generally used by technicians or subcontractors, punctual maintenance players, managers, so forth. And here's showing how a list of work orders are shown here. When you click on it, it takes you to another page, and into that, here you can do all the detailed functional steps. Now let's talk about what type of maintenance, asset maintenance, can be done by Carl. Yes, Carl can do reactive maintenance. Reactive means simply when there's a breakdown, we have to correct it. We call it corrective maintenance also. And this is the least preferred maintenance we want, okay? We don't want this because this really causes lots of disruption. Production is down or something is down and the business loses money, okay? So we want to make this as low as possible. If not, the best number is 0. Now, how can we do that? To keep it 0, we have to do some sort of preventive maintenance. In other words, based on what the manufacturer recommends, you have to do regular maintenance, whether it will be a calendar based, every weekly, every 2 weeklies, monthly, or whatever, 6 monthly, or it could be based on the usage. When I say usage, it means it could be kilometer, if it was something like a vehicle which is giving you meters run, or it could be a generator giving you hours run, how many hours it has done. Anything, as far as I can measure the usage, and based on that I can also trigger some preventive maintenance. Some other maintenance which is very important, one of our clients, for example, Vital, they are asked by the government or utilities that they must make sure everything is checked regularly, and they want a regulatory audit and report. Pretty much it is used for that also. So it covers our client on that area. Condition based, basically you look at the condition, you could have a mobile measuring tool, for example, a infrared scanner. You measure the temperature, you enter the temperature, and the system will spit out what to do. Okay, it will automatically trigger a work request, and if not, a work order, and say go and do this because we have measured something which is out of the range or normal range. It could be a level of oil maybe, or level of water, or something like that. Anything can be. So based on the condition, maybe a vibration has gone very, very high. So before it breaks down, let's go and repair it during a shutdown. Reliability centered maintenance. Now this is an important one. And why it is important? Because what you can do, if we create right fields in our Carl form, what we can do is pretty much we can record, let's say from 1 to 10, the condition of the asset, and also we can record 1 to 10, the importance of the asset. Now looking at the importance and the condition, we can pretty much prioritize our maintenance work, okay? In other words, I can decide whatever CapEx or OpEx budgets I have, where should I spend my money, okay? And this sometimes people cannot decide because they don't have a proper tool to make those conclusions or analysis, let's say. Okay? So an example, if I say if something is very important and the condition is really bad, you should be diverting your interest on that. Okay? Predictive maintenance. Now, remember I showed you about IoTs and all those things, all the data coming through the artificial intelligence stuff, all these things together, they makes Carl smart, and therefore it can predict what's happening and what is about to fail, because they are measuring data, and all of a sudden if you see some difference to what's happening, you can indicate that there is something going wrong, and before it fails, we can fix it. All right, so it's time for live demo. Okay, now I will now basically minimize this now and try and show you the software. Okay, now over here I have got 2 logins, right? So this is pretty much Carl's source, which we say we prefer to run it on the computer, on a browser. So I'm running on Firefox, and I'll log in here, and pretty much we get in the system. And remember, nothing is running in my computer, it is coming from the server. Okay, so everything is coming out from the server. Now the environment, okay, you can see I'm logged in here from the top. If I go from here, probably you can see the company logo is there. If I click on that, these 3 lines here, it sort of breaks down this and gives me a bit of detail. If I don't want, if I'm experienced, I know what this icon means, I can minimize that, sort of, okay? Then on the top here, there's a search. Now it's an elastic search. In other words, it's a global search, and you can search for anything. As soon as you type 3 letters, it will start popping down what are you looking for, and you can click and it will take you into the records, okay? Then there's a help, which is an online help. In other words, it's a very good help. Anywhere, wherever you are, if you press this help, it will only tell about where you are, not everything, okay? Now here, this means I can duplicate the screen. So can you see I made 2 copies of it, same thing, and I can make another one if I want to. The advantage of this is I can be looking at something, in this tab, while I could be looking at something else in this tab, okay? And that makes it a very big advantage. Obviously, this one is about my login and all that, okay? Any other memos I have to read or anything like that can come into this alarm bell, okay? Now, then we come down here, let's say. So these are equipments, okay? Basically, equipments are assets. So if I click on that, it sort of shows me what is required. And here's a register which has got assets in it, okay? And if I click on that, it will just show me all the assets that are there in the system, okay? Now, I can go back and also look at the same assets. I could look it in a tree structure way, okay? If I go there, and then the system is going to bring up a tree, and in the tree, I can sort of organize my asset based on geographical location, where the asset is in that sense. And whether it's in Australia, whether it is in India, or whether it is in Fiji, and so forth. Now, you could also split it site-wise. Sometimes people name it site-wise. Sometimes they split it based on the technical function of it, what it is doing. For example, I can, of course, we haven't done it here in this example, but you can group all the, for example, let's say conveyors together, all the different air conditions I have, I can put it together, maybe heating, under heating, and cooling, okay? So you can technically, with the technical functions, so that a client can at one time see how many different types of air conditions I have in my company or in my organization, okay? So you can technically group them also. You can also do the same family-wise, okay? What family does it belong to, okay? And so forth. So these are different ways of classifying your assets, okay? And obviously, you can set up rating points. I'm not going to go there. It's too many things to talk about. And then work orders. When you come to here, this is, as you can see, the sign of a cone. Work is getting done. And here, every work orders are present. So if I click on work orders, and it will take me to pretty much all the work orders. I can filter the work orders based on the name, descriptions, what the status is, what the location is, what the start, finish dates are. Many things can be done here. And I can search by who the manager is for that. Everything can be done, okay? Also, you can under work perks, you can also do work requests, okay, and various other things. So this is what I see as an administrator, because I see a lot of things, okay. Not everyone will see what I'm seeing at the moment, because you can remove certain information from the page by configuring the profile correctly. Okay. Next one is about inventory. Every company, they have some sort of inventory. They have some spare parts, whatever they need to keep the business running, okay, to make sure. So here's a list of inventories, and here's a register for that, okay, for example, all right? So if you go down here, pretty much this module does purchasing. So all companies, they need some form of purchasing. You can do a purchase request to your manager. Once your manager approves it, through electronically, it can get converted into a purchase order, which goes to your suppliers, okay? And pretty much the suppliers get it, they release the goods, you can receive the good, okay? And it gets into your stores. If it is an item which is going to be in store, it will get into the stores. If not, it can be also bought for your project. Okay. This one here is basically showing you a little bit about a resource, how you can do resource. Remember, I showed you before that here's all the staff here. They're doing some work here. Okay. And pretty much all their schedulings are done here. Okay. And they can pretty much drag and drop any work order they want, where to do it, and they can set their timeline, by dragging it big, or small. Okay. They can do that. You can change it here. You can make a copy and paste it as many as you want here. Okay. You can copy one work order many times in advance to plan your work. Okay? Then if I go back to resource, there's labor reporting also. Okay. Now, labor reporting means what? Obviously, when staffs, they do work, they can come here and they can add a labor reporting, and they can say what they did and for how long, and what this happens. You can convert the system pretty much into a timesheet. Therefore, your staff doesn't have to fill a timesheet. Okay, you know what they did and how many hours was spent on particular project or task, let's say. And obviously, in this under resource, we can also add technicians. Like I said, what are technicians? Right? So technicians are people who actually carry out the duties. Okay, they do the job. And there can be various types of technician. It could be electrician, plumber, fitter, mechanic, painter, you name it. And other parts are not very important. Basically, we can create codes here. In here, we can set up our cost centers. We can set up our budgets, cost centers, which is linked to the accounting codes. The accounting codes are linked to the accounting ledgers, basically ledger codes, whatever they call it, for the accountants, the financial controllers. Okay, and that's the accounting code. Cost code are basically cost centers are part of maintenance, where the cost center is in maintenance. Now here is basically budget. If you set a budget, your staff cannot spend more than what the budget is allowed to. Okay, you can lock them. So these are pretty good things here. Here is pretty much create some dashboards and some indicators. Okay, this part shows about system configuration. Not everyone can see this. And here is about configuring your Carl Touch, Carl Flash, and Carl Express. Okay, or customizing the forms. So pretty much this is how we see Carl as an administrator on the system. Okay, right? And you can see here in the middle there are flash reports, which tells me what amount of work are in progress, how many work orders are late, what is waiting, what is blah blah here. Okay, all the information are shown here. Now, how does a technician sees it? So here I've logged in as a technician also. Right, so I'll go back and I will try and log in again as a technician. Here I've created Deepa as a technician here, and if I can remember the password, and I'll get in. Right, I got it. So in there, so this is how a technician sees his or her daily work, and you can see. Remember, I said it's like a cockpit where the pilot sees all the gadgets. They are watching what's happening. Okay, what they have done, what they're supposed to do, and they can manage a lot of things. If something is getting late, they'll see and then take care of that. Okay, and as you can see here on the right side, they probably don't see everything that admin could see. As I said, there's no configuration one, because obviously you don't want to give this to everyone to change things around. Okay, so that's pretty much Carl's source side of the demo. Okay, now next thing I wanted to show you is the applications we have. Now over here, actually, I have got my tablet running. Okay, now if I go here and I try to log in, okay, then, and I've already got the task actually running, so that I don't have to go and look for the icons. So what I'll do is I'll start from showing you one thing, that yes, we can run Carl source in my tablet. Okay, so you can see I'm logged in here, and pretty much whatever you see in the back of the screen, which is this one, you can also see here. Okay, I can make it big and make it like that, but I normally don't use it, so let's not worry about it. Now let's go and look at Carl Flash. So generally what will happen is someone will try to send a work request. So here what I've done, I have logged in as, I think I've created a user, and I've logged in as Edwin, and it says everything is fine at the moment because he has not sent any requests so far, but he has got Carl Flash now. Let's say he is a citizen, okay, or is an employee of the company, a general public, whatever you call him. He wants to report something. Okay, now he can either scan the equipment QR code. Sorry, I don't have it at the moment ready, but if he wants, he can call a wizard very quickly. Okay, and let's do a quick request. You can also do a detailed one where you're located and all that, but we'll do a quick one and say, look, please look for an asset. Which asset should we look for? One second. Let me say, I'll pull up our asset that we should look at now. I mean, we can do something without even an asset. If it is, we can skip that step, okay? And we can just say there's a leak. Let's say there's a leak, leaking pipe or whatever. Something you can write, okay, validate that, and you can submit it. Submit my request. See? Now it says pending here. So I have sent this. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so this guy is first time sending it. I just configured it this morning. Right, so I'm just going to put it on the side here. And then I'm going to look at here. If I have to go and look at, because I am a work order, I can receive work order. Okay, now I'm going to look for my system, which is on this side here. Right, let's see if I have received any work request. Right, so if I go and look at the work request, oh, that's it. Leaking pipe has come in here. Can you see just now? And remember, I said Edwin is logged in. So because he was logged in as Edwin, I could know his detail, who this guy is. So my job, let's say I'm the maintenance manager or someone who's responsible, let's say, I'm going to say, let's process it. Okay. I'll process this work order and say, look, it's a new work order, or is it associated with the current existing work going around? Maybe it is. So I can associate it with some other work order. Okay, I can pick these options. Otherwise, if it is a new one, I just simply go there. Or if it is nothing to do with me, maybe it's something for another department, I can transfer it to another department because it came to the wrong person. Okay, or I can simply ask for more information, or I can reject it, saying, no, we are not supposed to do this. Anyway, we will not do that because we want to see something happening today. So we will say, I'll validate it. I don't want to go through 5 steps here today. And I can also pick up, any of my existing, let's say, work order templates. If I look for my work order templates, if there are work order templates, I can pick them up and simply do that. That means I don't have to type a lot of things, okay? But if it is actually like a breakdown situation, then obviously you don't have a work order template which is sort of defined. You may have to type your own operations and do this. Okay, so we'll take it as a breakdown case, no work order template, and we just tick this up, which means I'm ready to create it. So it automatically gives a number. Okay, next available number for the work order, Message comes leaking pipe. Okay, and this is for demo so that we can delete it later. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now is assign it to someone. Sure. And I'll try to assign it to Deepa because Deepa is currently on our Carl Touch so that we can see if the work order gets to her. Okay. Now, what else I have to do here? Obviously, okay, it's a corrective maintenance work, right? Something went wrong. The pipe is leaking. I have to look for a cost center because it's a star means here a mandatory. I'll just put it in our admin cost center just for this demo purpose. And then what else should I say? Okay, I want the end date. It should be finished by Friday or maybe Saturday, but try to please finish it by tomorrow. This problem, because a lot of water is getting leaked. And you can put, if you knew the asset, you could put the asset, but doesn't matter, okay? And if you think any cost you know about, you can fill. What else can you fill? You can also, you have to tell what to do, right? Some technicians don't know what to do, so you have to tell them what to do, okay? So in here, I can pretty much say, okay, add one line of operations or maybe add multiple. I can go and select and say, all right, I want you to go and check the pipe, okay, first, and probably find the problem, okay, and maybe something else. Let's see what you can find. Okay, maybe. Okay, let's clean it. But anyway, there are various types of here for test purpose, okay? I'll use, let's say I'll use this one, check, right, check, let's clean it, and let's test it, okay? And I'll try and remove the other ones. Now, if I hit tick button, it automatically adds those 3 operations. I can type more things, what to do. You know, maybe I want to detail it a little bit. I can do that, okay? And then I can make it this being mandatory. Mandatory means it must be done, and without doing this, you can't close it. If I tick this, this means this operation must be done. Without that getting done, the job will never close. The project, I mean, the work order cannot close, okay? Anyway, I'll leave it non-mandatory, right? So what else do I do? What are some of the materials I need? I might have to ask and look into the store and say, I need something, okay? I can zoom in, I mean, go through it, dive into it and look into now I'm pretty much into my stores module, okay? I'm looking into the items now. And let's say we need this bearing here, okay? How many do I need? I need 1, maybe. Well, I don't know why I need bearing to fix it, but I'm just taking bearing. Okay. Do I need any subcontractor which is coming from outside? Okay. And do I have to assign some labor? Yeah. Maybe I need more people with me, okay, to do this job. Right. All these things I can do, but I'll not worry about it. And any safety measure, for example, do I have to consider any risk that can be involved in the job, and I can add some safety information here. Maybe I can get electrocuted, but obviously let's not do that because we'll leave it out. Something you can put there, and all these things can cover. Once you are done with you can push a ticket, and your project is validated at the moment, okay? And it's pretty much ready to start. So I hit this button. It's calculating what is the cost based on the time and all that, material cost, okay? And we have processed it. If I refresh this, it should go away, okay? So now I processed it sitting in the office as a manager. What should we see now? Let's see if the system has popped up in our, in our Carl, what do you call? Carl Touch. So I'm going to go into Carl Touch, right? And I'm going to see if I can see any work order here. Oh, thanks. It's here. Can you see? Sorry. There is a leaking pipe here. Okay. So remember, we did this, and this is a completely different application. It was requested initially by Edwin, and we put it to administration cost center, corrective one. All that is here now. Okay. All right. Before you do the job, you have to hit this thumbs up button. What does it mean? I will do the job. Okay. When you say I will do the job, means I have taken the job. Now, while the technician is working, maybe he gets a call from home and says, "Hey, you got some problem at home, emergency, come down here." Therefore, this technician can't finish it. He can transfer it. I hope you guys can see it. There's a transfer button here. Okay, you can transfer it to another colleague of yours, maybe another technician. Okay, well, let's say nothing like that has happened. We will start the work. What does the start do? As soon as I press this, Carl is so smart. He knows that you have started the work, and in the back end, it's now timing how much hours you are spending on the job. Okay, so it's quite handy there. If you don't want to, and if I go for lunch break, I can hit the pause button. Okay, you can say, "Do you want to pause?" Okay, and you can pause it. But we'll say no, we don't want to pause it. Okay. So we play that thing. We are working on it, and now pretty much I want to do the job. Okay, what are the some of the things? Remember, we put some operations. There are 0 of the 3 operations not done yet. Let's go and do our operations. What was it? Remember, we put this check, we put this clean XXX, and we put this. Well, let's see, we have done it. Okay, this was the answer. You've done the clean, yes, no? We say yes, we have done it. Test. Oh, of course it is. Fail, pass, let's say passed. Okay, now if I want to add another operation, I can there and here straight away add another operation because my boss told me to do 3 things, but I think there was something else I have to do here. Okay, I can add it here. All right, so now I've done this job. I can go back, and you can see it says 3 of 3 operations has been done now. Now, what about materials? Okay, do you need any materials? Let's see. We added a material 1 quantity of bearings, I remember. Okay, let's see. Yep, that was 1 bearing we took from there. Let's say we have used it. Okay, so we have used it. Okay, let's tick it. And 1 bearing has been used. Now the cost will go there. And also there are a few other things we can do. We can attach photos. Like I'm on the side doing the work. I can take pictures and attach it to the same work order. Okay. Maybe add a document, it says, and I'll say add a photo. How do you want to add the photo? Okay. You can use the camera now. Okay. Now here's my computer, which I'm using here at the moment, and I take a picture of that. And I'm happy with the picture. Say okay. Right. So now I have been attaching this picture now. Okay. So you can see 1 document now has been added to it. All right. So what else can we do now? Okay. Pretty much, I'm happy with the job. Anything else? There's many things else you can do, but we'll try and keep it short, and I'll finish the job. Okay. Missing field required. Okay. Obviously, we need to sign this. And obviously, we have to do labor reporting, which we didn't do. We didn't do, right? So we go and do the labor reporting. And maybe we add a labor and we say, yep, you did how many hours of work? You can use this way or digital timer or whatever. Right? We put some time hours, maybe like this. Okay. 1 hour. Okay. Right. That's it. And I've done my labor reporting. If there's any more labor or casuals who are working with you, you can add them also. Okay. I can do that and search for your colleagues and find and add them. Okay. Right, so we will just worry about this person. Now Laiva has been added, and now any tools you used, you can also do that. Let's say we didn't use any tool. Can I finish it now? Of course you can. Maybe signature is required because we have said this is a mandatory thing, and I sign it off. I'm happy with it. And you can do some dictating. All that can be also done, right? I'll finish it. Field required. What else is missing now? Okay, who signed it? I didn't put my name. That's why. Taking shortcuts. Okay. So can you see a small star is there? So if you don't do that, it will not let you go further. So now pretty much the job is done, and I'm saying, yeah, I want to close it. Sure, go for it. Okay. Now that job has disappeared out of here. And let's see what has happened now. Okay, I'll take this out of here. And if we go here and look for the work order, and what was it? It was, we should feel, I think the job has been, we look for the job which has closed now. Sorry. So they're finished. We don't want to look at all the jobs. And I think in the name we had leak. And hopefully we can find that. It's not there. All right. I don't know. It was probably in progress. Okay. I didn't close it, is it? 1 second. I thought I finished it. Where is it? Okay. The reason why it's not finished is because the rights are not there for Deepa to finish his job, and we can close it here. Don't worry. Okay, for now. So it's not finished, so that's okay. But the job has been done. I mean, some things have been done in the job. Let's look at this job. It's still in progress, pretty much. Now, one thing remember we did in Carl Touch is we attached something, right? And let's see whether it is here. Let's see if there's the same picture we can see here. Let's open. And you can see the same picture is there, which I took on site. Okay. So picture has come from my mobile application, Carl Touch, has come into my system, which is pretty much. So if I go back, and if I look at my operations, can you see the operations have been pretty much got a tick here, and that is saying that that has been done. If you look at my supply, can you see we added a supply here? It has been consumed now. It was required, now it's consumed. It has come down here. Okay, and now pretty much we can simply close the job or whatever. Okay, right. So this is pretty much what I wanted to show you. Another application which I'm not going to dwell into, but just to show you is it. 1 second. I'm trying to bring my I've lost my connection to through to my, what do you call, I'll try and connect again. Right, sorry, I lost connection to my, what do you call this, tablet. And let's minimize this guy. And back to here, and then I wanted to show you the last application which I was talking about, Carl Express here. Okay, so pretty much you can see what jobs are in progress here, what jobs are finished. All these things can be seen here in our Carl Express. And if I go into any jobs, just going to anyone, see, you can add operation to this job now if I wanted to. Okay, I can add operation, so you can do pretty much a lot of things if you are outside office on Carl Express. So I'm not going to add anything on it, but yes, all these things can be done, sort of functions given on Carl. Okay, right. Okay, can you see my screen or not? Hello?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, very good, because I sort of lost the connection here, and that's why I thought maybe it's not sharing anymore. Okay, good. Okay, fine. So that's pretty much all the application and sort of the online demo side I wanted to show you. And just to wrap it up, I will continue from where we were. And just to sum everything up now, what is basically Carl? Like I said, Carl has got an automatic, it can integrate and do regulatory reports and management of inspections like that. It can handle all your asset and stock management, contracts, guarantees, budget controls, stock level, everything can be done there. It has got graphical planning with timesheets, authorizations, and work permits. It has got variety of functions, like as you have seen many things today. It has got customizable indicators. You can also get mean time before failures. You can get to know what is the overall effectiveness of your equipment also. And it is full of extensive IT system built in. Okay, it's got interactive links to AutoCAD plans, Google Maps, and all sorts of maps you have. It can integrate to total production management system. It has got all sorts of connectors to connect to EPR, ERPs, GIS, SCADA, everything. Okay, system which can also improve your quality and safety by putting safety sheets, SWIMS, which is safe work method statement, JSA, job safety analysis, and your standard working procedures. Also, you can do significant management of your contractors. In other words, you have contractors who come and do some work. For example, they come and just fix your air cons and go away, or they do security work for you. They can be managed in Carl also. Well, some unique features: over 35 years in knowledge, experience, very user-friendly, and even a computer illiterate person can use this. It has got all sorts of technology, which I have already shown you. It's one of the world's best, has won many awards. It does increase staff accountability and improves HR utilization, because people work on work orders, they report what they're doing, and they all take care about what they do. And then, of course, it helps maintains your asset knowledge in-house. What happens if you did some work in some task you did, and obviously the staff leaves your company, whether he retires or he leaves the company, whatever, in Carl, all the history remains there. So you can go and look at it. It has also got something called system. What is the symptom? What was the cause? What was the remedy? Okay, like a failure tree. Also, it is a very, very cost-effective system. It pays at no time. Why we say that? We have been working with some clients who are keeping over $10 million of stock. Now, Carl helps you to reduce the stock, unnecessary stocks that you are carrying, because it knows what's moving and what's not moving. Okay, if you can streamline that, you will save money. Okay, And of course, it increased plant production. Now, it's very flexible. You can customize your workflow, how you do your work. It can be all customized. All sorts of data entry, all sorts of analysis can be made for you. Okay, this software has been designed for the engineers, by the engineers, for the engineers. Okay, so what it means, they understand what is required in maintenance or asset maintenance, let's call it. Right, some very strong points now. Functionally, yes, we can do what is required by many clients. Okay, we can improve the product service and quality, the safety, and we can increase business profit margin. The other thing, technically, yes, we can operate in your environment. We comply with whatever is required by your IT. Okay, and if you are in doubt, we do piloting to verify it. Third point is technology. World's best technology, and it has got innovative system, which we have already seen. We have seen digital twin, we have seen industry 4 things. Okay, we have seen 3D BIM, etc. Okay, it can do many things. Okay? Now, experience, as we said, over 35 years of experience, we have been continuously developing this, and we have made it very simple and very user friendly. Now, reference, we got many customers, okay, and they are very happy customers, and they are from various verticalization or industry sector, let me call it. Okay, and we cover small to large business. Last but not least, financially, we are very cost effective, and we are happy to discuss how to do it and make it happen for our client. Okay, so we have proven return of investment, and we can show our client, and we can work together with the client in terms of anything. If any client becomes a member of CAL, prior to pandemic, we always had every year there used to be a meeting where users of CAL gather somewhere in the world, and they have 2 days of activities where they share knowledge, what they do, they listen to what new things are coming, and of course, we listen to you, what you want in CAL in future. Okay, so currently this is not happening due to pandemic, but soon it will start again. All right, that's it. Thank you. And let's say it is time for Q&A. Any questions?